This is Carrie, Fullerton Professional Organizing, and today I don't know if this topic that we're talking about today is going to turn into a one-part series or a two-part series or a three-part series because I try not to keep you too long on these. So, what we're going to start out with is we're going to start out the person's name that I listen to her YouTube videos are Elin, Elin Lantz, and she has a YouTube Slice of Life, and I will leave information in the description, and I will tell you who, if I switch to another person that we're talking about and her ideas, I will let you know. But this is who we're talking about right now. She has a YouTube that says YouTube 2023 Guiding Principles of Decluttering. Okay? She says, one, she is a minimalist, so she kind of has a different way of approaching in this video. She says, know what you tend to overbuy and be intentional. So if you are trying to declutter, now she's a minimalist, I'm not a minimalist, so we're gonna go about it though as if we are trying to be a minimalist, because we do have to start somewhere. You don't have to become a minimalist, but these are just some barriers, these are just some reasons, these are just some ways that we can declutter. Okay? So know what you tend to overbuy and be intentional and try to just be aware of those things. You know, my overbuying would be dishes and china, and I used to spend a lot, believe it or not, I used to spend a lot at Dollar Tree. So now I'm in a little bit of a different season. I'm not buying as much dishes as I used to because I am trying to be a little more intentional. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm not still tempted, because I do love dishes and I do switch those out seasonally or monthly. Right now I've got the snow theme because it's still just a little bit in winter, even though here where we live it never hardly ever it only snows about every 10 years. But I've got my winter theme out, and then in February it will go more towards Valentine's. I don't think I have any Valentine dishes though anymore. I think I let those go when I sold my tea party business. But if you know where you're tempted to spend too much in, then you can be intentional about trying to slow that down and think about whether or not you need it. Two, she says, know your values. What really matters? Impressing people or having less stress in your life and home? What do you use the most? Are there things that you don't use that you still have? Know your style and your aesthetic. You know, if you're not, she says she's not sporty, so she doesn't really go for sporty clothes, but she likes it on other people, and she's thought about it, and then she's realized, no, that's just not me. So it keeps her from moving out of her lane as far as style and aesthetics go. Same with decor. Know when you have time to declutter. You know, do you usually feel better about decluttering in the morning or in the evenings? Or are you so tired that you would rather declutter on the weekends? Know when you feel more likely to declutter. Plan it around that. If you're always tired after work, then you may not want to plan a decluttering session in your home right after work. And when do you have more energy? How do you like to declutter? Do you like to just gather up everything in a basket and take care of it later? Or do you want to just tackle it? Are you an all or nothing type person? You just got to get it done. Do you, maybe 10, 15-minute segments or an hour to 2 hour segment of time? Do you like to do it alone? Is it more fun with a friend? Maybe it's a podcast or music or a TV show that can keep you motivated to keep the decluttering process going. Little by little or all or nothing. Now, 7, know your triggers to shopping or to collecting things. Are you bored? Is it when you're stressed out? Is it when you're sad? And know what relaxes or invigorates you. What makes you feel more accomplished? What makes you feel more energized? Maybe it's the time of day, or maybe it's music. What are the lies that you tell yourself? Is this are these items really part of who you are, or who you will be, or who you want to be? Will you ever really be that person? Are you really that person? Know your strengths. How do others see you? All of this plays into why we hold on to things and why it's hard to let go of certain items. Decluttering is a full part of our lives as opposed to a separate part of our life. What to do during a tough declutter? Identify the emotions that you're going through while you're decluttering. While decluttering, create space between you and your thoughts. Looking at the thoughts rather than from the thoughts. Identify the thoughts leading to that emotion. Use an alternate thought or mindset change. Less, like, for example, less is more. Or finding your why for decluttering. I'm decluttering so that I can what? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And notice how these new thoughts or mindsets affect you emotionally. Elin or Elin or Elin, I'm not sure how she pronounces her name. She uses her degree in clinical psychology and background as a therapist to understand emotional responses that we have when we're decluttering. Make the conditions for decluttering enjoyable. Involve a spouse or a partner or somebody else to help with the process. Or have a cup of coffee. Or a cup of tea, your favorite beverage, while decluttering. Let's see, or have a cup of coffee or tea at the ready, or play background music that helps you focus. Now, she says, I think once we see decluttering and organizing as a full part of our lives, as opposed to a separate entity, And once we figure out how to systematically fit it in a way that's impactful for us, I think we can find success in this process. And she's right. If we see it as something that we have to do every 6 months or once a year or etc., instead of an everyday part of our everyday life, then it does make it a little more difficult. If we're not spending so much time deliberating, debating back and forth whether to keep something, the whole decluttering process becomes a lot more streamlined. If we are aware of our emotional processes, we can take control. We can decide how we navigate decluttering to make sure that we're doing it based on our values and what we care about in life, rather than momentary urges to collect and to keep. Sometimes we're not really aware of what's going on internally for us. We're less good at identifying what we're feeling than we think. Everything needs to be tailored for a practical individual, for a particular individual. We're all different. There is no one right, perfect way to declutter, and we all need to figure out what approaches, what strategies will work for us and our mindset. It's critical that we spend the time to reflect in the moment as we're doing the declutter and in setting up conditions to make us do it a little better, to progress, to take those steps. Now, here are some things that she says we can do to help this process. She says, identify what emotions you're feeling when deciding to keep something or to buy something by taking a moment to say, I'm feeling anxious, or I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling resentful, or I'm feeling guilty. Puts a name to what you're experiencing and makes you aware of it and how it's affecting you and how it's keeping you from decluttering. Once you have identified your emotion, separate yourself from it by stepping back, by looking at what's happening from the outside. You're able to act in a way that's more consistent with the inner you, the core self. You maybe are trying to declutter to do their best, but who is just feeling something in this moment, those emotions. Analyze what you are feeling to become more efficient at this process. If you're not spending so much time deliberating, debating back and forth whether to keep something, the whole decluttering process becomes a lot more streamlined, like she said before. All right, now what we're going to do is switch gears and talk about another YouTuber. And her name is Marisa Zheng, Z-H-E-N-G. And she also has a YouTube channel. Let me see. What is her YouTube channel?
When you feel like you're stuck and you can't
Oops,
decide,
sorry about that. Her YouTube channel is A to Zen Life. A to Zen Life. So we're going to talk about 10 tips, strategies to declutter faster. Her 10 tips. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what causes it to be hard, just like what we just got through talking about. It's connected. Okay, that's why I'm going to do both of these because it is connected. Now, her strategies to decluttering faster are: 1, slow down the inflow of clutter. Just like the other YouTuber said, why are you purchasing all of these items? And why are these items continuing to come into your home? So start by doing a simple trash sweep. Those are things that are torn, broken, things that you know are trash that you will not be selling or donating. Let those things go first. Then keep your eye, once you start decluttering, keep your eye on the task. Do not get sidetracked. Just focus on the decluttering, because sometimes as you declutter, you can go, oh gosh, now I've got to declutter this so that this will fit here and this will go here, and I can't get this decluttered if this isn't decluttered. And this, fill a basket with things that go in another room, and we'll get to that. But stay focused on what you're decluttering. Donate more than sell. Donate more than recycle. That just keeps the momentum going. And use the 80-20 rule. It is said that 20% of your habits contribute to 80% of your productivity. And that can be positive or negative. 20% of your wardrobe is worn 80% of the time. So why not keep the 20% and let go of the rest that isn't worn as often? When decluttering, maybe that means start with the flat surfaces first. Be ruthless. If it is not a clear yes, then it must be a clear no. If you have questions about it, then it's probably something that you should let go of. Because they say you should only keep what you absolutely love, use, and can't live without. So if not, get rid of it. Peter Walsh says clutter is not just the stuff on your floor. It's anything that stands between you and the life you want or you want to live. Have clutter's drop zones. Those are bins in your closet for when you try on clothes and you don't like it, don't want it, doesn't fit, etc. You find something wrong with it and you don't need it anymore. Instead of leaving it in your closet, put it in a donation bin. And another way to improve decluttering is set a timer for 15 minutes a day. That will give you progress, not perfection, but progress. And then we're back to the home bin or basket. When you are decluttering one area and then you find that it needs to go in another area, but that area has to be decluttered before it will fit or go back into that area, put it in a basket so it's ready to go where it needs to go when you get to the next decluttering project. Okay, that way you stay focused on what you're decluttering right at the moment, and then you can declutter the other area later. So why is decluttering so hard? The benefits of decluttering, though, are your health, and that is physical health, mental health, and emotional health, because of that stress hormone. It causes you to be sick, stressed, and negative emotions that can be behind the clutter are boredom. Find ways to be content. Envy. Try to find ways to be grateful for what you already have. Don't, do you really want what other people have? Do you need what other people have, or you just want what other people have? Fear, all those what ifs. I miss it. Will I miss it? Will I need it? Will I hurt someone's feelings if I get rid of it? Was it a gift? Will I have enough? Will I run out? Remember the toilet paper? Trust in yourself and your abilities to know when enough is enough. And to know, like we said before, know who you are and know what you need. All right, guys, I'm going to end it here, and then we're going to go to part 2 and talk about more of why decluttering is hard, how to get past it, why we struggle with declutter, how we can change our mindset, and we're going to keep talking about this in the next podcast. Thank you for listening today. Thank you for tuning in, and I want to see you in the next podcast. See you later.